if the stuff on your Facebook, you can share it.
But you have to share it first.
You already on.
All right, let me check for you.
You already on.
All right, let me check for you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Kai. Wow. Hello, Mr. Kai. Can you hear us? Wow. This is really. You know. Mr. Kai, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, but your background is really. We're getting feedback from your background, so you can just.
I'm hearing you right. I'm getting you clear.
Okay.
And so you don't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. We can manage with it. Okay. So I welcome again to. We want to welcome all of you to another edition of our show. Tonight we are happy to have with us Mr. Josh Kai. Mr. Josh Kai is the current radio manager for Radio G in Vivo G, and he will be giving us some updates, information regarding the stations and all of it's very important for our country. So we have with us Mr. Kai, Radio G. Man, do you have something to say before we can start?
Mr. Kai, we just want to say you are most highly welcome. Uh, we appreciate the fact that you accept our invitation to be on this global platform. We have hundreds of thousands of Nigerians around the world are watching you tonight. So the floor is all yours. We'll be showing some questions to you, and we'd like to hear from you what's happening and what's unfolding back in our country. Sorry for the poor quality of my voice.
Mr. Kai, please can you control your background a little bit? Ma, is it your background? We are here talking at the background. What is your background or is Mr. Kai background?
No, when I'm not talking, I always mute my camera and my microphone. So now me.
Mr. Kai, can you control your background? We are getting feedback from your background.
Yeah, so Mark, I'm hoping you all are getting me clear live on this platform. Yeah?
We can get you, but your background, like you have kids at the background, they are really making noise and we cannot hear you clearly.
I better hear you drive the mic. I hear you drive the more
We
than
can
mic.
hear you, but we are getting feedback. You have tapes at your
What?
background that are talking. So you are talking, but we are getting feedback from you. So you can just tell the kids, or you can go far from them, so that the background, we are getting too much background noise from the background.
Yeah, but this is a yard where we have some neighbors around, so that is a challenge tonight.
Okay. Uh, no problem. Welcome, Jobo. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So we
You
have
hear
with us
me?
tonight Mr. Josh Kai. Mr. Josh Kai is the radio manager for Radio G, and he will be speaking to us on important issues in our country. He will be speaking to us issues surrounding the radio stations and other important issues. So welcome, Mr. Kai. What news from River G?
You hearing me? But you are also your voice is not fluent, especially with Mike.
Should it should be your phone. I'm very clear.
Am I alone here in the room? But like you said, this area we got some neighbors as well.
Yeah, Mr. Kai, you can go on. We can hear you, even though your internet is not good, but we can hear you. So go on. What news from River G? And wow, Mr. Kai, I think if possibility is not there, then we can host you another time, because we cannot bear this. We think that we could continue with you. It's not really possible. Yeah, because we're not getting anything from you, and we don't know what is going on.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
But I think we can have George Kai on the telephone. You got me?
Okay.
Yeah, and
So I
nothing
think
we
it'll
can
be
do.
better.
We can put it on the telephone. I think that would have been one better.
Okay. Okay, so welcome again. We have with us tonight Mr. Josh Kai. Is so unfortunate that he cannot connect with us due to connection problem. So what we will do is we will have him on audio, and you will listen to him uh through the audio. So let me see if I can get him. There we go. No connection. Let me know. Mr. Akai, it would be better that we have you on audio on through call because we cannot get you. Number one, the room is very dark. We cannot see you who you are. We talking and we are not hearing you. So I think it would be better that you do a voice call and we'll listen to you.
Yeah, I think it would be much better because myself, I'm struggling to get to you.
Okay, so you are live now. So welcome, Mr. Akai. What news from River G?
Well, River G is peaceful with the exception of the annual events, which is the country is what currently like gearing up now, as you are aware that River G is one of the counties that is taking part in this family.
Okay. So when you came from the county and how's the road condition?
Very challenging. I rode a motorbike from Fishtown to Ganta because also when I found the burial of the late Nazigo Daniel, and so I have to use a bike just for me to be able to catch up over time as well. But from Fishtown back to Granger County is a greater challenge when it comes to the movement of the road.
Okay, thank you so much. We'd like to know, Mr. Kai, how is it been? Recently, there was a midterm election in River G, and we had a new senator from River G. So, how was the election, and what was the role of Radio G in the election?
Well, the election was tense, and the results almost no impose the decisions of any other citizen in the county. So if you have follow up among counties, like especially the 5 of them, River G were one of the counties that were very peaceful. There wasn't election violence or post-election violence in the process, and it was very participatory. And because the media play a level playing field role in the entire process by giving equal airway and equal airtime to all of the candidates and their supporters without denying anybody, including the entire citizens, to interact with their candidates, it helps to choose who they wanted. And that's why today you are seeing the result that we have. And River G were one of those counties that were being praised, especially with the role of the media, especially Radio G, that were able to cover the entire electoral process during the 2017 election.
Okay. So, okay, so it is unfortunate that we cannot have you on video because this phone, I use a phone to take call too from other people that want to make contributions. So as having you on this phone now, I wouldn't have the opportunity to use a phone for other calls are coming in for questions or for comments. So that's the unfortunate part to that. But we will just manage to continue with the show. Probably we can have you another time again when the system get better. So, Mr. Kai, tell us, you are the manager for Radio G. How is Radio G, and how are you managing the station?
Well, Radio G, honestly, to be frank with you, is a military station that has a primary objective of sustaining peace and preaching peace messages, including promoting some programs that have to do with development and bringing other critical voices as well. So our people can also be informed to make an informed decision, whatever thing that I think is very important for them. So we have been managing with the station from our own managerial skill, and especially because of our independence in the terms of some level of credibility and linking with other partners, community members support, and people coming to use the airway to be able to provide a legal resource So these are all helping to sustain the station since we took over. So as we speak, all is not ready. At least we do not have a challenge since even during the entire electoral process to say that we were off air for more than 2-3 days. There have been some challenges, but because of the managerial schedule and other ways that people have come into here, and especially some of our citizens, including some friends outside of the county, the stations is continuing to do well and scoring it on. So yes, it's manageable, but now we are still moving ahead to make sure that we keep the station on because it's the only station which is have a less coverage, and our people believe in to talk about all of the happenings both in and outside of the county, even including those that are in the diaspora as well. So because of that level of interest, we are putting time to make sure to be on air so our people can be informed.
Thank you for that. Thanks. We are happy that radio is moving very strong and providing information to our people. We would also like to know, give us some background of this Radio G. Radio G is owned by whom, and what is the purpose of Radio G? Is it a government-owned entity, or is it a non-governmental institution? How is the funding of Reward G? How Reward G was built, and who owns Reward G? We want to know because we want to clear this today.
Well, that is a brilliant question. Let me just give you a little history for which a community radio station was set up not only in Reward G alone. You know, in retrospect of Liberian 14-year civil crisis history, there was mass destruction, full immediate crisis, people's voices were never held, and sometimes the rightful information was never being given out to the people. And so because people's voices were never held, and the research also showed that in as much people are not adequately informed, there will be a lot of speculations, there will be rumors, and it will be difficult to hold your leadership or your leaders to accountable for whatever thing that they want to do on behalf or for the people of this county. And based on that backdrop, the international community, through other partners, were able to assess. And from that assessment, the needs were arise that Radio G, at the time, it was Fishtown Community Radio because of the lower coverage it had at the time. And so they were able to equipment and settle equipment us to at least begin for our people. So whatever they have in terms of their own local produce, they put it in advertising, people can go and buy. If the superintendent want to give a message or the community people want to give a message, they can use that to be able to go to the radio station and talk about that. Even other development issues that how we do with community, they can go and talk about that. And because of the previous years, when they noticed that the community developed interest, another group of people came by the name of IRES, which is International Research Exchanges Board. It was also receiving some grant from the USAID to make sure how they can revamp and those previous equipment that were given. And that's how they brought in 500 watts transmitter, including equipment and hand equipment to the community so that the community can be able to use them to have a wider coverage. And that's helped almost cover the entire county. In terms of leadership, they tell you that all the ownership, the stations belongs to the community. It's not governmental.
Every say community, you mean Reward G or a particular community?
No, they were these people.
Okay.
That's why they have the representative on each, the representative on the board, represented by each sector of the community. Major sector, for example, you will see the women, the front part, they have represented on the board. You find the youth represented on the board, people living with disability, the religious people, the civil society organization, including the traditional people and geographical location that they got the upper and the lower belt of the county. And that's how. So when they talk about leadership, it's a community that select who to be a leader. In terms of decision making, of course, have a voting right. They also make the government official, specifically the superintendent or the development superintendent, as official on the board. But does not mean they have a decision making. But in terms of voting, they will not be able to vote except when there's a need come for them to be able to break that. But those things, when we talk about ownership, it belongs to the community. That's what is not be influenced by any politician or any other government authority for the uses of the radio station. So these were the rules and guidelines that were given to the community, not only River G, but all across the entire country, with the exception of those who got private radio station. They own the program for community radio station. And that's why we are working with partners from the USA background that mentoring all of our recruiters, even doing some maintenance of the equipment. And sometimes if we have some problem, maybe or have some equipment that require to be repaired, they come in because these were donor-driven materials that were given to community. They should take ownership and manage it, and that's how it works. So dominantly, you will not find influence of any politician or government official to think that they want to clean the radio station, and that's how the station is being running.
Well, thank you. So let's talk about the leadership. You been there for how long? You have been manager of the station?
Yes, this year should be my 8 years now since I've been managing the station, and I can tell you for sure, in the year 2013, when the International Research Exchanges Board, we call ARED in short, and took these equipments in the county, and took the equipment there. The equipment was actually given in the year 2011, but because the management at the time, they were not innovative, so the partners came in and they were decided that if once the community not ready at the time, they were going to take those equipments. So there was a town hall meeting that was called, and when they called the town hall meeting, the community gathered together and said, because of your innovative and your experience, will let you to be able to help us. So there was a time frame that was given, and it's lasted 8 weeks. And in the 8 weeks time, they told me I needed to put the structure together, including my team and myself, to set it so that those equipment needed to be installed. So we followed that time frame and invited them, invited RS at the time to come and witness. And so it was during that program, the community themselves got together and said, look, from this day, they started the board, and the board came out and said, for your experience, and we think that you're able to manage a radio station, we have trusted this station with you. That was a consensus feeling at the time. So we have to move in 2013 in what they call a refund policy. And in a refund policy, they endorse that any managers who are going to serve the radio station must serve at the will and the pleasure of the board, or also will be evaluated on what we call an annual performance base. That means every year, if you don't do well, they have the right to question you. But if you do well, they continue with you because what they want the results. And that's how we are working. But I'm talking about, I was even in the UN when they asked me, and even when I spoke to my bosses, they said there was no conflict of interest. It was there to help to sustain the peace that the United Nations came for in Liberia without dividing our people in terms of conflict. That was also another form to boost the objective and the aim of the mission mandate. And that's how we started to manage the station until 2016, when another board member came in and they said, you still have to continue the mandate. And that's how today you see, we are still managing the radio station and up to present.
Well, thank you. So another thing we'd like to understand is the issue of the selection. Was you elected, or were you elected or were you appointed by the board? Is it appointment position or elected position?
No, the managers across the river G alone, because we are also being guarded by the Association of Liberia Community Radio, in short, they call it ALICO. ALICO has a bylaw and constitution, because the constitution states that the radio station, the board is a higher decisions maker. They represent, the ownership of the board. So it's a board that is elected, but the manager is appointed. That's what it said. You got to work with the interest or the will and the pleasure of the board. And so your evaluation is on the performance base. So it's a board that appoints the manager, but manager is a board director and has a tenure. Because logically, if you appoint the board, if you elect the board and you elect the manager, there will be a power struggle. Who's going to answer the front? And that is the logic in it. So the board is the one that can appoint the manager. The managers report to the board and the board to the community, and that's how it works.
Okay, does this mean that the board, the manager, there's no time, there's no limit on tenure?
No, you don't have.
So you can stay there as much that the board have confidence in you.
Yes.
Meaning that you are. So meaning that you have been serving as manager for Radio G for the past 8 years.
Yes, sir.
So what is the issue of protection? Is it something that you can be appointed today and tomorrow, if the board wishes to remove you, they can remove you, or you can be appointed for a certain period of time. Thereafter, you can have reappointment.
Yes, that's what I said. Annual performance base.
So every year they make an appointment. Every year they have the power to make an appointment or to maintain your stay. That's what you mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. So every year they have the right to do so. If they feel that it's not relevant, they can also be able to revise that. But mind you, they are also being, even though they are representing the community, so the community is also watching. But before they do that, they have to call what they call a mass meeting and let the community know that because it was there like the manager is not functioning, so we are going to take the decision. So that how it works. Then the community too will have the full right. If they want to make some suggestion or they do some query as well, you will be able to provide some evidence. So that's how it works. So the board will not just get unilaterally, even though they have the power to appoint, or before they even appoint, they can also make that announcement and tell the community that this is the quality, this is the reason why we think the man should continue. So they have to do that. So it's just done properly. Within the preview, they have the right at the end of the annual year, if you don't perform, except for any other reason that have to do with or criminal, activity or breach of any of the rules, then you have the right to break your performance out in the middle of the year, and then you cannot continue your period at which being given to you.
Okay, so we understand the issue of the manager. So how about your staff, the staff that work with you? Are you the one who were appointed, or are they appointed by the board as well?
No, the manager and the management, the manager and the management team. When they appoint the manager also, in consultation with the board, they do the select of the management team that have to do with the program director, that have to do with the finance officer, because these two persons with the manager are the key people that run the affairs of the station. For other people who are recruited, that that lies in the preview of the manager and his management team to find out whether you're visible and you fall within the line. The manager and his management team have the right to determine your starter. But when they do that, they also have to let the board know that this is a decision we have taken, and it should also be genuine, allowed within the preview of the manager, and his team. So that's how it works. But the board doesn't come and influence the manager saying those person should be the staff, that other person should be the staff. No, because the board is playing what we call advisory role. It is playing advisory role. They are now soliciting from at the end of every month. They say, "Oh, this is why we have to augment the strength of the radio station to pay the staff." And so, but before you do that, that's why the management team will look at the strength and know where other gaps are that you can be able to recruit. And then, annual report, you inform the board and let them know that this is the decision we have taken, and this is the budget line that we have, and this is what we're going to do. Just for the board also to be aware.
Okay.
But in the same vein, in the same vein, the management and this team, which I have to talk about the 2 questions, they have the right. That's why you see, even they have the administrator who also monitor the how we call them, the day-to-day activities. For example, staff regulars, and going to work, those things. The administrator has the full right to also do that, to be monitoring on a day-to-day basis. So this is how it's really work within the community radio sector.
Okay, so let's look at the issue of benefit. You've been there for 8 years. Is it a volunteer? Is it a pro bono job? Pay? 8 years? How do you sustain yourself? Staying the whole time there, working for the radio station. How do you sustain? What's your benefit?
No, yes, because not only Radio G, especially where we find ourselves, what we do is that we provide a small incentive for our staff, including the management team, because everybody who goes to work, people have to
how do you raise that?
We raise it, for example, we get our announcements. Is one way we can get it. And then
does it mean that people have to pay to make an announcement? If the station is for the community have to pay to make an announcement, to give on this, people are charged for.
Yeah, if you're running your church, they charge for you. How do you grow the church? If you don't pay tab, you pay tab, big friend. If you have your hand pump to keep on the phone, it doesn't mean when they say the hand pump for you, you will not pay something. That's why they pay minimum amount, affordable amount, to keep the station going. If we need labor today, are we going to go your community? We need labor. Then somebody will bring them. No, that's what made the management, because we do not go to them when we need labor. We do not go to them when we have some difficulty, like maybe they have problem with the transmitter or the ministry that we have more recent time. And if a staff want to go in the field to collect information, do you expect them to go to the community to do that? No. So what they pay, it will have to sustain to keep the station going, because it's maintenance that the first thing you understand. Maintenance, in maintaining the area, you need soap, you need a place to be decent, you have to start to go to, so they have it. So because you own it doesn't mean you don't going to pay something. Like if they are going to happen, we say like, I own a school, I'm not going to pay, I get a church, I'm not going to pay. The offering for the growth of the church doesn't mean they don't own the church. Yes, they own the church. That's how it works. And so that is the same concept of ownership. If you own something, you have to pay something towards it to keep on going. This is how it works. Not only with a Radio G, but all over. And so we tell you, say, okay, if you want an announcement, you pay the announcement. If you need a request form to send request to your friend, you pay the request. If you need how we call it airtime, you buy the airtime, or you pay for the airtime for how many minutes you want to use it. Because those people who work in there, at the end of the day, must be given something so that they can keep themselves going and to watch the clothes.
Okay.
And this is how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you. So we understand that. So tell us, you been there for report. Do you make report every year to the board?
Yes, we make report, except in most years we have difficulties with some of the board members. But the highest person who stepped on the board was always being briefed and to know what we're doing. And that's why some of the area that convention we went to, like even in Kanta, because the board person, she was always there to give all the clear cut of the entire, the concept of community radio station, how it runs. So except for the past 2 years, because we have people who migrated from other areas, and then they were not following the rules, because the rule says that if you come from the sector, for example, if you come from maybe a civil society organization representing the poor. When you are leaving, what you need to do, you got to go back to the sector and inform them that because I'm changing my location, so there's a need for somebody to replace me. And some of the things, these are things that happen, but these were all internal things that we need. So it was internally.
Okay. So, Mr. Kaye, thank you for this information. We would like to know, there have been some there have been some misunderstanding, complaint against you from staff, the management, some members of your staff had a crime against you. And they raise many issues. They talk about corruption. They talk about a lot of things. And there were committees set up. What is going on at the station? What is really responsible? Do you have, can you tell us what is really going on at the station? If the station was meant as a community radio station, why is it that there is for a month and you have become the target person in this fraud?
Yeah, that is a brilliant question. To be honest with you, coming back, before I come back to the answer, for me to return to the station, that fight came from the community. Because the matter in which the staff went against me, later on, they are realized, in now all, but majority realized that they were being misled. And so they were even asking the board to really find a remedy so that all of them can work with me. Because there haven't been any incident that they have some level of disagreement with me or to brought that to my attention. For example, you may have some disagreement with somebody, or if you in the meeting will say, I suggesting this or this what I want, and you did not listen, you have a point. But this really happened surprisingly to include in the county. That's what we made this too. When previous decision was taken, and they have to say no, that decision does not lie in the purview of a presidential appointees. So you need to come back to the board, and that have the board took the lead before they were able to come up with the findings to establish the facts, and which are giving me some level of credibility when it comes to my character. And for the record's sake, it was the 27th of August. It was the 27th of August when some of my staff besieged the radio station early in the morning between 5:30 to 6 o'clock with having a red tie on your head and enter the place to sing the political slogan for my removal. But what I saw on the ground, I knew that they were coherent because it has some level of political. Because the first and foremost, when they did that, there was a conference that was scheduled to be till 3 o'clock. But before the conference, one of them had called on the affiliate radio station, especially Smart FM, and said that the superintendent have taken a decision of my removal and dissolving the board. And so when I knew that's something that happened, I knew that there was nothing that legitimate or have any credibility that calling for my removal, except for maybe some of said political gain. But the fact remains is like, let's look at those charges that they leveled against me. The first thing, they established that I'm a dictator. So I sat with him and said, and I asked the question, how can a dictator just to be job and people training for advanced? Like, for example, one of your younger brother, Bobby Wing, who I sent to Greenville along with Prince Copeland, that went there to attend security training. I have information. If I was dictator, I could have gone, including other people I sent to Ganta, Morovia, and somewhere standing with Zwedu as well, even in Apple. And then, and even going out, whatever they get, I never could have anybody to say, how much did you receive at your transportation fee? And you coming to me or give me some part, let me have my share. That is not my attitude. They have another record and say, early of 2020, I received 5,000 United States dollars from the county development fund, and that money unilaterally assign for it and I use it and coerce that to do some other things that not to the knowledge. So they charge another one and say, oh, and the man signed a contract and the rising economy in consultation with the Ministry of Education, and you receive 9,000 United States dollars. And Save the Children, which also either or an NGO that run the program Teaching by Radio, he signed for and he signed 2004 and received the initial amount of $1,200.
So Mr. Akai, all of the figures, what we want you to do is to clarify. Like the first what I have in my possession, they say you single-handedly receive 5,000 United States dollars on behalf of the entity from the County Development Fund, which you misapplied without the knowledge of your staff, meaning that you did not inform the staff the money that you receive and you misapply the money. So is it true that you received 5,000 from the County Development Fund?
No, that's what I'm saying. Because that it was a question. The presiding at the time, the superintendent, my first question I posed to him, that's saying you accurate. If I need $5,000 from you, then you could let the public know so I can be guilty of all the crime. So
let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. Was it a superintendent that said that you received $5,000 from him?
No, he didn't say so. But it was a great staff, but he was presiding because as a leader, when people come to you, if your children come to you and decided to say something and you know certain thing that you took certain decision, you should be the first person. When they say A, you say, no. What you guys have seen, they want 5 from 2. Because the reason why it has a disbursement power. There's no money that leave the county development fund without the RPSA and the approval of the superintendent.
Okay, so let's get this. So you are saying that you have never received $1,000 from the development to the radio station. Am I correct?
No.
Okay, so let's get the second point. The second is that you saw a black Pathfinder Jeep belonging to the radio station to a new businessman in Bebo Kamyeke. I can remember that there was a car for Radio G. Where is the car currently?
The car are laid up to its usefulness. This car was partly purchased in the year 2013, even including other cars that was bought that very year, other than they now live up to its usefulness. You saw the car.
So where is it currently? Yeah, is I live up to it, but how was it? Was it used as a where is it? Because is it behind your house? Is it parking at a radio station, or where can we locate? Even we cannot be,
It didn't park to my house. It didn't park to the radio station. The car had lived up to usefulness, and it was the last time it broke down. It was 2 years plus ago, because the last time it was 2017. It broke down and it was parked in an open garage because you could not put it anywhere. They have some car in that area. So within the same period of time, because all the engine, everything have damaged, even down to the windshield, there's no tire. You cannot find anything on only the frame you could see. So the car had been there for 2 years plus. Until when Chico came in, the Chico came in recent time and they tried to do expansion of the road. Even with the fellow who really, how we call it, have the parking station, the parking lot, also were out of the county. And this car, for me, I've been giving attention, including where the management team know, we could not really put money in to say, yeah, we're going to fix the car, because the first thing, the car, the money that we're giving, I want to use the word parking, because in general, for 8,000, for the county only gave 5,000 that year, and we ourselves, especially from my end, were able to put the 3,500 there. But we didn't really have issue. We ran the car from 2013 to 2017. 18,
so Mr. Kai, we just, because we don't have much time, this program is entirely for 1 hour. We are going 40 minutes now, even though that. So we want to know, you said the car broke down, damaged completely, and Chico came and removed the car. Did Chico use a car as a scrap or?
No, you don't get me. You don't get me. I don't say Chico use a car.
They said when they were doing the expansion of the road, so the car was parking where did they carry the frame car? Where is of the car? Because even the car damaged, the frame of the car still need to be found. Where is the frame of the car?
This is a car we are allocating, including the judge who has the parking area. All of us, when we started to break the land, because I was not also there, he was also not one in the area. And after some time, those issues came about. So that's how we raised the issue. So right now we are in search until we can find it. The frame will be able. But for now, I can tell you for free that it's a frame. And if we find the frame, we can relocate it. Then we can establish a file. And that was one of the tasks that even the board have already given us.
The car is community property, and you are in charge of that property. You have to give accountability of it. The car was under your protection, and you needed to make whatever it is to protect and make sure that the car is safe to a place that it can be located easily. So let's say responsibility for missing on the car.
That's what I said. I accept because I am the head. I am the head. So it's because we use a car for more than 2 years, the car being parked. Not even an engine within it. It's a frame. That's what I'm saying. There's no tire. So and because the issue, people want to raise issue out. People want to raise issue because when you don't have, at the time it was being parked and no one raised the issue. Nobody asked why the car is being parked. Why the car parked for a long time. Nobody asked the question. Because the film is missing.
Yeah, because they knew that the car was stay in your possession and it was safe because you didn't want to have the car. You have everything about the car. So let's move to the next issue. You already said that you people are in search of the car. So you owe we will make sure. So tell us.
I don't want to use the word. Let's use the word because it doesn't.
Okay, the frame of the car. So tell us, how long is it going to take us to find this frame of the car?
That problem I just told you is not useful right now. If we got it, I will do it yourself. We can be able to bring it out, but that task was given to us. But it's not the car. I'm just telling you the years 2013. Other cars that were bought, you cannot even find a frame around. Other cars that were bought during the late time. You can't find 2013. Look at the road condition. It's just because you want to pick first at somebody.
Okay, Mr.
That is not because the maintaining the car, you don't even have the engine. I just told you the engine, the wish to damage.
Yeah, okay. We understand that. We understand. Let's get to the next point, Mr. Kai. Let's get to the next point. These are public goods and public goods, public area to take care of them because the car didn't belong to you. Even if it is subscribed, it doesn't have engine in it, it still has to be protected. I think we have to get that. Okay, so let's discuss the third one again. The third one is you single-handedly collected over $700 United States dollars from the Liberia Media Center, which you also invest. So did you receive $700 from the Liberia Media Center at time? Have you ever received any money?
No.
Okay. So you enter into 2 decisive and bogus contract agreement with Save the Children UK and the Ministry of Education in partnership with Recent Academy for 8 post COVID-19 teaching by radio program that worth thousands of United States dollars. They can't for. Have you ever entered in contract with Save the Children UK and the Ministry of Education, a COVID for a radio education program to our people?
If we enter the program, that is time for the teaching by radio program.
Okay, teaching by radio program. Yeah.
It's a performance-based program.
When did you enter in agreement with this institution?
It's entering in June of this year.
June of this year.
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah, June last year. Yeah.
Okay, so how much was the contract? The cost of the contract?
I just told you performing based. When they tell you performing based, they're telling you if this station you air 30 minutes of the teaching my radio time, you will pay you grant you 25 Liberian United States dollars. And what you do in that process is you do that, you got what they call it the law. And it's the laws that you're going to present to the partners and you that signed the agreement. And that's how it works. But when we even signed that agreement, why and the Red Dot Club of Buko, there was nothing at Buko. Because the first thing is they're calling by the value the manager signed, and if they need a second person, is a program director.
So performing base, through your performing base, how much have you received from this institution?
Nothing.
You are not received. You are not received anything.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, not even $5, Liberian dollars if I get it. They got all the money, including the other one Save the Children, even including Save the Children. People almost run the same program. Yeah, and wrong. No value attached. That's why the board said when they to find out, and the board even the drove they said you guys lie on it. You lie on it. Because before you do the performance pay, you must do your invoice to attach it and be ready for pay before you can know how much you work for, and it will be verified and monitor to compare how much you think you work for before you can send it for payment. And that's how the process works. Nobody will tell you say you work for the one time. This is how you want to do to give it to you. Not even a dime. Same the German the same thing.
So, Mr. Kai, let's talk about the issue of report. You have been there for 8 years. Do you make? I will ask you the question again. I think I asked you when, but do you make a report every year to the board?
Yeah, I just told you the except with the past 2 years.
What have happened? What have happened for which you were not able to report for the past?
I just told you those who represented the slum from other sectors have left and went to other places. They didn't go back as you could not find them. So it makes it difficult, but that doesn't.
No, so without you cannot make a report without a quorum, but you can deliver a copy of the report. So because the board have a chair, right?
Yeah, and which of course was done.
So did you deliver a copy of the report to the board chair?
Yeah.
Where is the quorum board chair, please? Can you like?
The quorum, Madam Comfort, she is the quorum board chair.
Okay, and she has received a report from you for the past 2 years because there was no quorum. Comfort do.
Yeah, I just told you I'm using this word because the reports can be done with a larger quorum. So I just told you a briefing.
A briefing, meaning that there's a written document presented to her, right? But it had to be discussed in a board meeting, and because
some of them, and that's what happened.
What is requested from you every year? Is it verbal report or written report?
We do verbal and we do written. We do verbal, we do written. Because it depends in the time frame that is set up. Like you're supposed to make report. And that time and something can interval. You can also do a verbal to let your board chair know that this is what happened.
Okay. Hello? 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 Hello, Miami? Jobo, can you hear me? Jobo, Ma, can you hear me? Okay, okay. Okay, Mr. Okai, you are live back on the show. Sorry for the interruption. We had problem with the connection here. So, Mr. Okai, there was a committee set up to investigate this particular level against you, and we learned that there was a report given. What reason committee, and what is the outcome of the investigation?
No, it's not a committee. It's a bull. A bull. Only thing they did, they amend the spin of the bull because, like I just told you, there was some other gaps that other people left and they didn't show up. And because of other technical background I have with financial, so they committed themselves, they recommended other financial experts to amend the string of the bull. And that's how it works. So in the fact of that investigation, the unfortunate thing in the process, the agreed staff at the time could not produce a written document mean to all the corruption. Everything they said was verbal. So it was because of my own because of my own character and my integrity, I was able to even give them some of the evidence that have to do with some of the contract they spoke about, and to validate some of the argument that have to do with value being attached to that, and they saw that. And even giving them a copy of the Constitution as a reliance that we have been working with, or the policy. So the committee have settled, and they came up with a finding where they said just what I told you that.
We want to play a recording, but because I'm using a phone to talk to you, so there's no way, but I will try to play a recording here, remain. So let me play the recording, and then you can come and you can respond. You can respond. Just remain on the line. Remain on the line. Record online.
I'm to tell you, okay.
Yeah. So let me just play just a part of the recording. You know
that the one you play is a statement that was read by the superintendent.
Yes.
I thought there was influence.
Yeah. So
we have to
So I want to play the superintendent statement. Let me see if we can play in the way then, but just for. Okay. So. Okay, so there was a man. Can you hear me? There was a committee set up to investigate this allegation, and after that, the superintendent read a statement already. We want to play this that was read by the superintendent, and then we can reconnect Mr. Kai to give a patent statement. This is a statement was read by a few days ago. So I'm going to play for the benefit of our audience.
I am carefully choosing my statement this morning. My words intended for you. If anybody has the intention of becoming a radio manager out of this crisis, that person should wait. On the same bed, I should also let the community know that there's anybody who wants to become superintendent or representative or senator should also wait and I'm going to use the radio insider to build their own popularity. We all want to work together. I fully choosing my statement this morning. My words is telling all of you. If anybody has the intention of becoming a religious crisis, that position with. On the same bed, I should also let the community know that there's anybody who wants to become superintendent or representative or senator should also wait it up with the use the religious saga to build their own popularity.
So Ma, you listen, the superintendent is speaking that if anyone wants to use a particular Radio Saka by Radio G Saka to wanting to become superintendent or senator, they should wait. So I didn't know where the superintendent is speaking from. But let's continue his statement and see what he has to say.
We all want to work together in a country. So if any of you have a vision, either to become radio manager or to become senator or to become representative, this is not going to be the occasion that we exploit for that purpose. So we have come up with a joint statement which was signed onto Minister of Affairs and members of Council, including myself. This is a statement about the release this morning to our population.
Okay.
And it reads thus.
Oh, I find it difficult.
I am carefully choosing my statement this morning. My words is telling all of you. If anybody has the intention of becoming a radio manager out of this crisis, that position with. On the same bed, I should also let the community know that there's anybody who wants to become superintendent or representative or senator should also wait it up with the use the religious saga to build their own popularity. We all want to work together in a country. Any vision to become radio manager or to become senator or to become representative or to become superintendent, this certainly is not going to be the occasion that we that people. So we have come to a joint statement which was signed onto by the Minister of Internal Affairs and members of the caucus, including myself. This is a statement about the release this morning to our population.
Okay.
And it reads thus. Outcome of leadership consultation on Radio G. The Legislative Caucus and the Superintendent of Radio G met with the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Barney A. Salih, at the Capital Building Office of Senator Community Wizard, the regular meeting place of the caucus, to discuss issues of peace and development. Specifically, took the following decisions on peace and professional running of Radio G 90.2 FM. 1. That there is a necessity for all to work together in a more collaborative and cordial manner for peace and development in the country. 2. That the importance of radio, especially community radio, in the promotion of peace and development agenda cannot be overemphasized and therefore is fully recognized. 3. In this connection, Radio G is acknowledged as a community radio owned and managed by the Board of Advisors to comprise of legitimate representatives of the community reflective of the various interests and sectors of our county. In this way, other community radios operating in Radio G are duly acknowledged and encouraged to promote peace and development. 4. The call of G, as was enhanced of people, shall continue to provide supervision of the station and conduct a timely investigation to address the concerns or allegations on running the station. 5. That Mr. George Kai, the station manager, shall resume his duties and activities effective immediately. Bearing in mind that the core purpose and values of the community radio, that all staff of the radio station, except the staff who was suspended I am carefully choosing my statement this morning. My words intended.
Okay, so I think man. So okay, so
Yeah.
okay, let's get to okay, Mr. Kari. Okay, I think you listen to the recording, you listen to what Superintendent Philip said, the documents, the resolution that was reached between the caucus and the Minister of Internal Affairs. We are not able to play the entire recording due to time factors. But it has been said that according to the documents, that you are being mandated to resume work at the radio station. Does that mean that you are being free from all of these allegations?
Well, that at the time the recording or the then to give room to the OMS investigation team to continue the investigation at the time. One of the recommendations is for us to go back, especially me, including the other guys, to go back to status quo so we can resume where the investigation was going. And we were going to determine, just as I told you from the beginning, that the managers, they determine the fit of any staff and staff who want to work at. And that was the whole thing. But at that time does not mean I was free from all the allegations. Also giving room for the investigating team that wants to investigate the manager. That was the excess of the entire process, because other people who were saying, no, you don't need to go back. And so the other people say, oh, you can't tell the man that you should stay and wait when you know that you allege that we didn't got proof. You didn't go back while you're working. And then the other people go back, of that statement, which of course the Internal Affairs Minister, the caucus, the superintendent were able to sign that statement.
So so Mr. Kai, so there's according to the report, there should be a committee set up to investigate this allegation. Have the committee been set up? What is the time frame of the committee? When the committee will conclude your report?
In the entire investigation at the time. That's why led to this thing. If you finish the whole statement, you know what I'm talking about. If you finish with the work. So that's why I gave Bo as an independent group now to start to do their work of which they invested last year and were able to publish that. And they gave every stakeholder, including other actors, copy of their findings.
You mentioned your political play. What is a political interplay in this? Can you tell us how?
Yeah.
Because the radio is non-political, and those who work with the radio station, they are not politicians. So what is the politics in it? Who are those that are playing politics, and what is the politics? Because we don't understand what people should play politics with a radio station owned by a community to provide information to the people.
Yeah, because I'm on the ground. I saw what happened. The first thing is like when the superintendent dissolved the board and suspended me. We told them that it wasn't a legitimate right to the superintendent, but the board was still intact. We asked to do another we were the city major with other people, and the community said no. They could not adhere to that because they wanted the same people to have come to be doing the investigation. To another city, there's some of the staff who was taking direct instruction from the superintendent office instead of the board that have the general or the oversee power over the community radio station in terms of the management, because they are the leading people. So they were not given chance, and they observed there were too much interplay within the process. So that's how they wrote a communication to the caucus and asking the administration to give them chance so that they can go ahead and do an independent finding about the entire saga, because one of the factors and the account that were laid against me have to do with from the office of internet having 5,000. So they do need to cooperate within that direction. And because of that, that's why the community wrote that letter to the caucus and the caucus, the superintendent and the minister, and it was in that meeting when it came up with let everyone, although we are politicians, I'm a lawmaker, you are superintendent, but one is within the purview of the community. Let the common man do his work. We can't say because I'm superintendent or because I'm city major or I'm lawmaker, so I should dictate to the people. And that's some of the things that we're already playing.
Okay. Yeah. So we the political interplay, we would like to get that later. We want to have clarity. What is the political interplay? But what are these? So before you get your concluding statement, we are already out of time. We are going 1 hour 12 minutes. So what are the relationship between you as manager of the radio station and the superintendent?
We are having a relationship. The superintendent
up to now.
Yeah, we done with whatever happened. President now working together. On the daily, we talk on the phone. In fact, he called me. You got to come back.
But I listened to the superintendent statement. He said that if anybody want to become superintendent or senator, they should not use a radio station. Who was he referring to that want to become senator or superintendent in the county?
Well, that was political. You know, that statement was read before the 2020 Senate special senatorial midterm election. So other people were using that from their own perspective, wanted to divide out the staff or maybe the board or the community members. That why he saw, according to him. So so he made that statement, and he saw that many persons wanted to maneuver within that process to gain their political gain. You know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kai. It is good to have a show. It's not in our favor. We are still 1 hour plus. We have to go. We hope to have you another time. But before we can leave you to, before you can take your closest statement, let's see whether my colleague have a comment or question. Mr. Ma, do you have something to say? Okay, so Mr. Kai, can you give all your closing statement?
Yeah, my closing statement is I think the better one need to be done so in the video the next time, so I will be able to have more audience, so at least I can do more interaction with people, because this I left to our own credibility in terms of running the station. But I can clearly make this clear here that I celebrated when the report came, although I knew that some that were said were far from people. I knew that I didn't even receive down from some of the things that are being alleged. But thank you very much for using your platform. I think also help spread some of those speculation that are being posted on social media, and that other people who follow your broadcast will understand that we are men of integrity, and we've been dealing with the station. I think when we are leaving, they should be in transition, but not into conflict that will lead our people in the other way around. So thank you for inviting me on your platform this evening.
Okay, so Mr. Kai, you are going back to the station to resume job according to the report, according to the resolution that was read. You are okay. I can say you are started. So what is the relationship with your staff, even those that have problem with you? What is the relationship between you, and how do you intend to work with them? The people who accuse you falsely, who wanted you to leave the station and say a lot of things about you, you are working with them. How are you coping with them?
Yeah, I'm working. I can tell you since last year and November when I called and I got there. In fact, there was one reception with the staff who have been working with me, except those who wanted to intrude into the system. But those who weren't working, I know the record, they were very receptive. And I can tell you this year, last year, December 31st, they all came to represent it, and everybody was happy. And they haven't been shown, and everybody reconcile even before the committee could have come out with a result or the report. We almost reconcile it because we're working together. They have issues, they got pride, they come to me, and I have to put forward to the board. Like I remember one other two didn't get the pay. So as soon as I got there and said, manager, I mean, things are not easy. We have done it for ourselves. Please try to talk to the board to leave this sanction up. And I will go and the board gave me, and we're able to pay them for 2 months. And you know, so that tells you that we have some level of good working relationship. But for everything that is good, or at least you can find some people who want to pollute the system, and when they get there, you find they can coerce a friend and want to do something that they don't have proof about. But in terms of working relationship, I can tell you the staff of myself been working together, and even the superintendent, like you asked for, we have been working together, including the purpose as well, and other committee member. So people were very receptive to see me because they said they haven't gotten any rumors and something was caught in a surprise. Actually, went in and one sound a cleaner came to me and said, "Fear after if I bought my children, I will make sure that they must do, because if you can't read, people can mislead you." And that's the statement she said to me, that she did not know what she was signing for. And you know, they just gave us some impression. So I can tell you that people confess and were telling me, and things are happening. When who feel, you can hear all the plan and who does what, and then, but you as a leader can play at some level of maturity by giving people who come to you to say, "Please forgive me." And so there where we are, and Ralph, this is what I want to say.
Thank you so much. I can just conclude with this statement. What is your plan for the radio station? You've been there for 7 years. What do you intend to do? What are your programs to make the radio station better?
Yeah, and the good news is this morning I want to have partnership with LBS, and they are carrying on some of their booster there to market over there. It needs one that will be directly relaying there, and they have some major programs will be carried in live, and whatever information that is actually in the county will not remain there, even when it is reported as usual. Our people in the county will widely consume that whatever the reporter has said about the county, they too will listen to that. Then somebody to call them, and that will help us to increase our listening audience. Another thing is like this year also we have this challenge. Unfortunately, we didn't talk about that. What we call the staff attrition. And I have spoken with one of the partners, LMC, the same group we're talking about, Labrador Media Center. We tell you I have a very working relationship with them. So they are going to send a team that will go and train the younger ones at the grade level of high school. That if you complete the training and we accept you at the station, you got to serve off for some minimum period of time with a member of understanding. Because it is bring somebody up, then they can go for the greater greener pasture, and then there be a gap in between. We have to go and train another person. And we are hoping that if our internet system is being upgraded, and especially with Orange, we anticipate to be doing live, broadcast like what you are doing, so that those in the diaspora, some part of the area can follow up.
Yeah, that's necessary. Yes, that would be good. Yeah.
So, and we are also going to increase our daily broadcasting hour. Normally we broadcast from 6 to 12, 2 o'clock, and then from 7 to go to 11. But we are going to broadcast from that to 3 and have about 2 hours break in between and resume by 5. So that those people who have in the morning, by 5 o'clock, they will be having some of the repeated program and other program that will be related in that context. And so I talk to the president of the press union of Liberia, that vigorously they'll be training some of our staff. Some of them will be doing local training, some of them will be coming out like Morovia, Ganta, and they will be doing the hospital with the president already with some task force June, and that have been one of the commitment. So these are things to expose our people. So even in subsequent time when we are retiring or when we're not there, our people can there's a common sense say if somebody loves how to eat fish, teach them to fishing, then the spoon feed them that the day you will not be there, then they will stop eating fish. So This our greater plan as we pray for 2021. This year, we hope that we should be able to achieve, if not all, but we can achieve 80% of them. So that has been our own plan for this year.
Well, thanks so much, Mr. Kai. It's good having you on our show. We hope to have you another time. I thank so much and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Ralph. Thank you for listening tonight.
So you just listen to Mr. Josh Kai. I unfortunate that he could not come on live, but through audio we were able to host him. Giving some of his challenges and Prosper of Radio G. He is a current manager of Radio G and was able to give out what is continuing in the county. So this show was meant purposely to hosting and to also acquire from him what is unfolding in the county. So we want to say thanks to all of you for following the show. We want to say thanks to our listener. We want to say thank you so much. And tomorrow we'll have another person appearing on the show. It is not certain, but we'll communicate with you through our platform. You can all tomorrow. So thanks so much and have a good night.